is, I have a very, I have an intellectual understanding, and I've read so many books. And, I don't believe in dogmatism or, anything with the story attached. I do really believe we're just like, dogs and trees, and just with the self-awareness to create these stories.
Yeah.
But once you've been so conditioned to believe that way, how can one sort of reach a more intuitive sense of what you're feeling?
I don't know what I'm feeling, but
or it just happens, it just dissolves, as you always say, it just dissolves.
Yeah, it's already coming from an upside down perspective that you've lived a life. So you're looking at it as if you've already lived a life. So when you ask the question, you see yourself as having lived a life, done things, and then you think that you can apply non-duality in that way, which is perfect, but then I just have to point you back to stillness again. So then I have to ask the question of who's hearing me speak. This is so profound. I'm not Lisa's words are profound, but non-duality. Who hears me in this moment? And the mind's going to come up, oh, this is hopeless. It's going to come up with all these things, but who sees that? Because its function, the mind, is to move. So it doesn't even care really what it's moving about, whether it's depressive or happy. It's to move into different thoughts. But who sees those thoughts? Who experiences those thoughts? That's not who you are, the one that says this is hopeless or how am I going to get there? It's appearing, it is who you are in the sense of everything, but it's not who you are in the sense of you aren't limited to any of these things. So who hears it? It says, this is hopeless, I won't get there, or how do I get there? And the whole time it's appearing in stillness. As stillness. Just seems like it's moving.
Can you articulate or clarify more when you say stillness? Can you elaborate on that?
Emptiness. Somebody asked me that the other day as well. And then they were like, can you elaborate on emptiness? And I was like, love. And they elaborate on that. And I was like, that's it. That's it. Because it's not something you can imagine. You can't imagine to look for this. It is who you are. As soon as you imagine it, there's movement happening. And you won't find it in a movement, and you'll find it in all movements simultaneously.
Lisa, so when dissolving happens for you, more dissolving happens, so it's happening, and is the...
For who?
For nobody.
For nobody.
Right. But nobody from whom it's happening, are you experiencing deeper stillness, or there is no deeper stillness because that's just a movement of the stillness? There is no deeper stillness for you.
I don't know really. This all gets very confusing.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Nobody can ever get to deeper stillness. It's an absolute lie that I even imply that everything isn't already liberated. But I don't want to claim to be anything.
But when dissolving happens, doesn't the appearance of that stillness, because it's seen now, whatever is seen is seen, so it seems like something bigger is happening, something larger is seen, that emptiness somehow.
But it's not seen by anyone because the seer is that stillness. It's just the clouds of the illusion begin to pass more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's not seen by anyone. It's seen by the stillness.
It's just that it shines through.
But is the stillness bigger? Is it more of a stillness?
It can seem that way, yeah. But only from the limitations of the story. But yeah, it can seem that way. Like as the identity dissolves, it becomes more apparent the emptiness of this all.
Right. But for you, that doesn't happen any longer?
This is a very confusing question, and I don't want to be anything.
Oh, I see. Not even emptiness or anything like that.
But I don't want to deny anything. I don't know what a permanent experience is anymore. That doesn't really make sense in this conversation. It would be easier if I just said yes or no, but...
That makes sense. It makes sense. It's just,
yeah.
There is nothing to be... There is nobody...
But if identification...
nothing, there is no identification.
But if identification comes, and it comes, I don't know what's going to come in the next moment. And I'm certainly not sitting in a position of being something permanent.
But when identification comes, that still will be happening within stillness. And it's very experiential.
I don't know. I don't even know what awakening is anymore. It all begins to get really confusing, and I'm really sorry that this body is the one that speaks about it. But as soon as you begin to ask about this, about this body's, but this experience, it begins to get really confusing. I don't want to in any way be a definite in any situation. So people that normally speak in my way tend to then say yes or no, it's definite, it's final, but you've got to remember that they're normally men. And I'm not saying anything against men. But it is a very different expression, I'm sorry. There's so few females speaking like this, and the females will not be, every female that I've met will not be. There's another one called Susan Foxton, and I really like her. And she will just always, when people ask about her experience, she'll say, I don't know. And I love it.
So it's really, you really don't know.
You really don't know. I don't know. I could be the most enlightened body there ever is, and I could be the most unenlightened. How would I possibly know that? But that doesn't make sense from the perspective of a person, to not know what you are.
But from perspective of stillness, don't stillness know what it is?
How could it know? It just is. How could it know? It creates knowing. How could it know what it is? But this makes no sense from a separate position in a dualistic language.
It doesn't know what it is, but it's a feeling of nobodiness, of nothingness, of it's just a feeling.
But
you know without knowing. But it's not knowing through the mind or anything like that. It's a knowing that is there. You know that presence is here. You know, I mean, like I feel presence right now, so presence is speaking, but I'm aware that presence is here. You know, I know. I don't know. I mean, it's not.
This is I'm joking when I said it's a male and female thing.
You know, it's a knowing without knowing that there is something here. You know, that's moving, that's doing, that's being, that's speaking, that's listening, but no one, but yet someone without no one. I'm just curious if that sounds right to you. How does that sound to you?
I'm not sure. There is this, and this is so beautifully empty and full simultaneously, so it's absolute expression of love. But when you begin to talk about Lisa as a character, I don't know what she is.
Is there still a male and female?
Well, it depends in which world you talk in.
Are there any separate worlds?
No. But we can speak relatively, and relatively this body is a female. And then in this instant, which is really all there ever is, it's just, who knows? We feel like we almost get somewhere and we're like, oh yeah, it's still nowhere. We almost got there. Nope. We realise we don't know.
So I have to deny my experience, you know? It's like I have to deny my experience.
Why?
When I listen to you, I deny my experience of who I am, who I know I am, and come to what you're saying which I identify with also, which I resonate with, but yet like I have to live this seeing that I know I am, and yet I have to leave it, to let go of it, to go a little bit further to something completely unknowable. But in my experience, I feel, if I spoke to my experience, I would say, I know who I am. I know who I am in the sense that I am not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not my thoughts, not my feelings, I'm not anything yet. I am. And I am is here, listening to you. And it's very real, it's just here, yet somehow where you taking me is someplace even a little bit more, to more nothingness, let's call it.
More nothingness.
Yeah, more.
So how do you know I am?
Or because how do I know this? Because when nothing exists, there is existence. There is me, that existence. When I don't believe in it, when I'm not believing in anything, I don't see anything, I don't know anything, I am. That's what's left. It's not like I create it. It's not like I'm doing something. That's just who I am. Without I am,
And
that's my experience.
And who knows that right now? How is that known?
Nobody knows it. It's not someone that's going to know that.
That's it. But,
I am.
But just hang on. Let me.
Yeah.
Go. So right now.
Right.
How is I am known?
It's itself. It knows itself.
How?
If I spoke my experience,
and that's exactly what
how.
I want. You're right.
I don't know how. It's just no. I don't know. I can't tell you how. It's not. There is no how. But yet, it's here.
And what? And how? How do you see I am? How is that seen?
How is that seen? It's not seen. You can't see it. It's here. It's just here without being here.
And what does that feel like?
Nothing. Emptiness.
It's not quite about the I am. Although that's really beautiful to see that you are nothing. Nothing that's moving. And then there's I am left.
Right.
Actually, the way that you know yourself is not the I am, it's the appearance of everything.
Not that I know I am is the appearance.
And in a way, this is more.
Well, nothing is appearing. In this I am, whatever appearing is appearing. It's not.
You know yourself not through the I am. The I am is just a very sweet and nice pointer. You know yourself by the colour of that cup. You know yourself by the smoothness of this wood, by the colours on this pillow. This is so intimate, and I am is such a beautiful pointer, but actually you know yourself by everything.
Okay, I don't know myself that well. not like that.
Here you are.
I know it.
Here you are.
Right. I can see that because all there is that. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it's all there is just that, emptiness.
Yeah.
And that's emptiness also.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yes, you're going to leave I am.
And I have to leave I am.
But I sometimes speak about I am, but now I'm deciding not to. I'm like,
okay.
Dak, 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 dak.
Okay, well that's great. 1 minute. Let me see now. So I.
But who do you think it's
I
great
leave
for?
the I am and I just become everything.
But who do you think it's great for?
Grateful?
Great for. You said that's great. Who do you think that's great for?
Oh, that's great.
Not grateful, but great for.
No, that's great. Just, I don't know. It's just.
And then one day somebody's going to ask you if you're liberated or not, and you'll be like, oh, what a question.
It's great for nobody.
Is it?
Yeah.
But this isn't meant to have answers to it. This is just meant to be like you're running over a toad. Being silly now. Oh, I promised you a coffee break.